Imagine walking through a forest and locking eyes with a monkey staring straight out of a flower, or coming across an orchid that looks exactly like a duck mid-flight, or finding a perfectly formed human skull pushing up through the ground. This sounds like digital trickery. It isn't. Today we're showing you 10 flowers so eerily similar to animals, people, and alien creatures that your brain will struggle to accept they're real. Stay until the end, because number 7 will make you wonder whether plants actually have eyes. Nature doesn't do random. Every one of these flowers has spent millions of years perfecting its disguise. Some deceive insects, some physically trap them. Some are so rare that national law forbids their export. What you're about to see is real. No AI, no image editing, just evolution working at its most inventive. Several of these plants are vanishing from the wild at this very moment. What you'll witness in the next few minutes may no longer exist in nature a few decades from now. That's not a warning. It's a reason to pay attention. Let's begin. Humans have been observing flowers for thousands of years and have been captivated by nature's deceptions for just as long. The ancient Greeks knew the naked man orchid and incorporated it into folk medicine for over 2,000 years. Japanese botanists still tend living specimens of the world's most mysterious skull-shaped bloom because it barely survives in the wild. And an orchid that resembles a swaddled newborn was found during a 10-year botanical expedition, and not formally described until 1798. What all 10 of these flowers share goes deeper than appearance. Every shape, every color, every illusion exists for one reason: survival. Some lure pollinators through visual deception. Others physically trap insects. Others have adapted so precisely that we can barely locate them before they disappear forever. Many are threatened today. Their habitats are shrinking. Some cannot legally cross a border. Right now is the best time to look carefully, because these opportunities may not remain open much longer. Plant 1. The skullflower, Aristolochia salvadorensis. In the floodplains of Brazil, a climbing vine produces a bloom that looks exactly like a human skull. Hollow eye sockets, a grinning jaw. It sounds like a prop from a horror set. It isn't. Tiny sticky hairs inside the flower briefly hold visiting flies long enough to coat them in pollen. Flies drawn in by what mimics the appearance of decaying flesh. They find nothing edible, just a trap with no reward. What makes this plant even more unsettling? Almost nothing is known about it. Living specimens have been photographed at botanical gardens in France and Japan, but in the wild, how it reproduces and completes its life cycle is still largely a mystery, one of botany's most quietly persistent puzzles. Plant 2. The flying duck orchid, Calliana major. In the eucalyptus woodlands of eastern and southern Australia grows an orchid that looks precisely like a duck about to take flight. Bill angled forward, wings tucked back. The entire flower measures barely 2 centimeters. It's a trap engineered for male sawflies, which mistake the bloom for a female of their own species. They try to mate, get caught in the flower's labellum, collect pollen, and unknowingly deliver it to the next bloom. Australia commemorated it on a national postage stamp in 1986. Cultivation is essentially impossible. Like all orchids, the seed can only germinate through a mycorrhizal relationship with specific soil fungi, making it impossible to grow outside its native habitat. No fungi, no orchid. It exists entirely on its own terms. Plant 3. The monkey orchid, Dracula simia. High in the cloud forests of Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia, an orchid grows that looks directly back at you. Sunken eyes, a rounded nose, a furrowed expression. Some blooms appear amused, others quietly irritated. None are forgettable. More surprising still, it smells of ripe oranges, unusual for a plant thriving in cool, damp forests between 1,000 and 2,000 meters elevation. That citrus scent draws in fungus gnats, which the primate-like face confuses further. As they investigate, they transfer pollen without intending to. It flowers at any time of year, as long as the mist holds and the forest stands. Plant 4. The naked man orchid, Orchis italica. Across the sun-warmed meadows of the Mediterranean, an orchid carries tiny human figures in each bloom, complete with arms, legs, and anatomical detail that has stopped people in their tracks for over 2,000 years. The ancient Greeks knew this plant well and used it in folk medicine. Local folklore read the small figures as meadow spirits, dancing to welcome the arrival of spring. It remains one of the most striking examples of natural form mimicry anywhere in the plant world. And every sighting today is rarer than the last. Plant 5. The swaddled babies. Orchid, Anguloa uniflora. Deep in the Andes of Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador, a waxy white bloom holds a quiet surprise. Look closely, and you'll find what appears to be a small infant wrapped in cloth, cradled inside the petals. The plant was gathered during a Spanish botanical expedition to Peru and Chile between 1777 and 1788, led by Hipólito Ruiz López and José Antonio Pavón Jiménez. It wasn't formally described until 1798. Its hinged lip creates the illusion of a swaddled form, and when an insect enters to investigate, the lip briefly snaps shut, dusting the visitor with pollen before releasing it. In Andean communities, it has been a symbol of fertility and good fortune for generations. Plant 6. The bleeding heart, Lamprocapnos spectabilis. Few flowers have ever communicated their meaning so directly. A perfect heart shape, a single teardrop suspended beneath it. The form needs no caption. It speaks entirely for itself. Originally from northeastern China and the Korean peninsula, it was first brought to England in 1810 and immediately lost to cultivation. Scottish plant hunter Robert Fortune reintroduced it in 1846, having found it growing in a garden on the island of Chusan, China. It blooms brilliantly in cool spring weather, then retreats completely underground as summer arrives, only to return the following year as one of the earliest nectar sources for bees and hummingbirds. Quietly beautiful, quietly essential. Plant 7. The white egret orchid, Pectylus radiata. Imagine standing in a wetland in Japan and seeing what appears to be white egrets taking flight, then realizing they are flowers. Pristine white petals shaped into wings, a slender column forming neck and head. The white egret orchid doesn't imply flight. It recreates it. Known in Japan as sagis, it is the official flower of Tokyo's Sedagai Award and a recurring image in traditional poetry and art. It even appears in the video game Omori, symbolizing longing and dreams. Today, this living sculpture is endangered. Wetland loss across Japan, Korea, China, and Russia has made wild sightings increasingly uncommon. Each bloom could be one of the last. Plant 8. The black bat flower, Taka chantrieri. In the forest understories of Southeast Asia, a plant extends wide, dark purple, wing-shaped bracts and trails thread-like filaments up to 70 centimeters long through the humid shade. The impression is immediate, something between a flower and a creature, suspended in the dark. What appear to be dramatic petals are in fact bracts, modified leaves that conceal the actual flowers inside. The near-black coloring is an adaptation to a life with almost no direct sunlight. In Thai folklore, it goes by the name devil flower. It is, in reality, entirely harmless. Its rainforest habitat is slowly shrinking. Plant 9. The parrot flower, Impatiens psittacina. For 10 months of the year, it is invisible. Then, for a few weeks, each October and November, one of the world's rarest plants opens in the forests of northern Thailand, Myanmar, and parts of northeastern India. The result looks precisely like a tropical bird in flight, wings swept wide, a curved beak in shades of purple and carmine red. Photographs of this plant were widely dismissed as digital fabrications for years until botanists confirmed the species is genuine. First formally described in 1901 by Joseph Dalton Hooker, who called it a flying cockatoo. The Thai government has since prohibited its export entirely. It cannot be grown outside its native region. Miss the season, and it's gone for another year. Plant 10. The passion flower, Passiflora incarnata. And finally, a flower that doesn't resemble an animal. It resembles the cosmos. The passion flower opens like a burst of radial energy, sending a ring of filaments outward in every direction. Depending on the angle, it reads as a jellyfish, a satellite dish, or something that belongs in deep space rather than a meadow. Native to the southeastern United States, from Pennsylvania down to Florida, it is a critical host plant for the Gulf fritillary and zebra longwing butterflies. Those radiating filaments serve a precise function, directing pollinators such as carpenter bees toward the center while keeping nectar thieves away. Beauty and engineering fused into a single structure. Every one of these plants exists right now, and yet most people have never come across a single one of them. Why? Because in a world built for fast content and easy distraction, genuine wonder about the natural world is increasingly difficult to reach. Because the forests and wetlands vanishing today are precisely the places where these plants evolved over millions of years. The parrot flower cannot leave Thailand. The flying duck orchid cannot be cultivated. The white egret orchid is losing its wetlands. The skull flower is so rare, its reproductive cycle in the wild has never been fully observed. The less you know, the less you protect. The less you protect, the more you lose. These plants took millions of years to become what they are. We may have only a few decades left before some of them exist, nowhere but in old photographs. That begins to change with one thing: paying attention. Go outside today. A garden, a park, a stretch of forest, wherever you can reach. Look more carefully than you usually do. Nature packs more faces, more creatures, more entire worlds into its flowers than we have ever given it credit for. The 10 plants you just met are not exceptions. They are an invitation. The only question is whether you take it.